And I think we're good to go from our break. Go back to our scene here. Okay. Woohoo! Hi! It's good to be back, everyone. Now, this is going to continue our workshop from Building Better Worlds, as this is an expansion on Alien RPG. We do need to refer to our base book, which we should easily be able to do, or we have it open. In the last segment, should any of you just be joining us, because we're talking about character building. We're relating this over to Dungeons and Dragons. Primarily, that's our workshop. That's how many of us have met, and I want to interest you in these systems, and I can talk D&D and translate that into these other systems so that you can see that you don't need to know everything about Alien, about like the Alien franchise, in order to enjoy this system or play a really neat game. Because maybe Starfinder isn't for you. Maybe Traveler isn't for you for some reason, or I say it, I'm like, I want you to play different games, and I'm also saying, well, maybe these games aren't for you. Maybe you did try them. It could be something about the crunch or the rules or something, right? But let's say that you are in the mood to try. Well, you look over here and say, well, I heard Aliens was pretty cool. But I've never seen it, so I really don't know how you're supposed to be a Colonial Marine. Well, in this case, take that as a placeholder. The Colonial Marine is a soldier. And if you want to think of it in simpler, not, in like system agnostic terms, our class is soldier. Uh-oh. Thank you very much, Pat, and welcome to the Hero Zone. Uh-oh, that's getting loud. And we have a cat. Hi. Thank you for making an appearance. It's an official stream now, everyone. We have the ship's cat here with us. We're safe. Yeah, are you going to protect me from aliens? Yeah? Or are you gonna jump out at an inopportune moment for a fake jump scare and create tension? Yeah, you're gonna do that one instead? Okay. I figured. Well, thank you. So, if you're looking at a system like this, and again, you're like, I haven't seen this, I haven't read the comics, the novels, the last movie, it didn't resonate. You don't need to see that stuff to enjoy. If you look at Colonial Marine as soldier, the Colonial Marine could very well be a soldier for the United Americas or for the United Progressive Peoples. Could be a private security guard for Wayland Yutani. You do not have to be in this specific faction. So anyway, we're looking at this, and why do we have our Colonial Marine up here? Well, as we see in our ship's crew, going off of Building Better Worlds and what is the standard crew of an exploration vehicle, or a vessel, if you will. These are the different roles. There are 12 different roles of people aboard a ship. And if your ship has less, it says, hey, you can go down to 6 if you really want to. You want to go to more? It's your game. We're going to go by the book, and here's our 12. And we did put synth in the synth slot, though we could still run a stealth synth if we really want to. This is just an assistant. That sort of stuff aside, we did have this as a fixed number, but everything else was randomly rolled, because as we were exploring Building Better Worlds in greater depth, it was giving you an idea that just because company agent might come on. I don't know why it's doing that. Just because company agent this need to be. Oh my goodness. Why is it do Serenity now. Serenity now. And I don't even know it just disconnected. Did my PDF file just disconnect a USB device? I don't know. Anyway, it seems to be stable now. We're just gonna have to deal with the gray border. I'm sorry, everyone. Anyway, this in the base book it says you're hungry. Space is full of opportunity, and you've been assigned to the frontier to find the next big thing. From insider information to new mineral deposits, or even a hitherto unknown life form to exploit, it's up to you to score a win for the company and use it to catapult yourself up the corporate ladder. You tend not to form long-lasting attachments, instead viewing everybody as a commodity to capitalize on. Don't worry about others later. Right now, it's all about the bottom line. In the base book, and if you're already familiar with the setting, you get an idea of, you're the company man, right? If we take a look at this expansion of Building Better Worlds, company agent has the same set of skills that a union organizer would have, or that other people in social positions would have. So you don't have to be working for a company. You could be a governmental agent. You could be just your own ambitious person. This is a title, but does not have to be the complete guide to the concept of what is being played. Apparently so, GMV. I guess the important thing is that you didn't. So, here's on that. So let's take a look. Our Colonial Marine is in the slot here of Captain. It was randomly rolled. Ah, gotcha, GMV. All right. Now, as a captain, turn this down a little bit more. There we go. Let's go back here. While the exploration team dictates the expedition's mission, anything ship-related is the captain's purview. Many captains chose not to accompany the surface-side expeditions, opting to stay on the ship. It's the captain's job to make sure he can get his science teams out of whatever trouble whatever trouble they make for themselves. And often that means coordinating a rescue from the holo tab on the bridge. We need to make sure that through the lens of a Colonial Marine, we are creating someone in a leadership role. Now, every captain will be different, and the way that this captain crews the ship will be different than even one of the same organization. But let's take a look at what we have and what this means. For a Colonial Marine, meow, I know. Why don't you jump up again and say hi to everyone? Come on. Yeah, meow. If you want pets, I have a lap. I can pet you while I talk. Come on. No, you're just gonna meow? That's fine. All right. Key attribute is strength. Now, why is that important? Why does this career have key attribute as strength, and what does that mean? In Alien RPG, let me scoot that over just a bit here. Your character sheet looks like this. You have 4 key attributes. You see how they're the core of your character. In this case, strength is our key. And that means that ma'am, I need to work. Okay? I love you. This is not the time. When you're assigning your points into your key attributes, if you're building a starting character, okay? This is a level 1 adventurer in Dungeons and Dragons. This is a fledgling vampire in Vampire the Masquerade. Baseline character. We could always add points if you want to say, you know what, these people on the ship are seasoned, they've been through stuff. That's fine, but let's set a foundation first. You get 14 points to add into your attributes. Now, from that, the minimum, unless your game mother says otherwise, every attribute starts at 2. Now, if it's an NPC or something else, it might be lower for 1. This is the level at 2 for everything is showing that all of these people have some experience being in space, working around some things. You can build a basic dice pool for a lot of things. This means of the 14, we have 6 more points that we can distribute into our other attributes. Now, in starting, no attribute may be higher than 4, with the exception of our key attribute, which can be 5 on startup. That means, let's say that we want to build, I don't know, our character concept is an old retired colonel who got out of the military and is out running, is out on an expedition, right? Hired for his experience, wants to make sure people make it back safe, and it finds easier working with civilians than, the troops he was training. Well, if we go 5 here, we're very strong. We're going to be good at things that require stamina, which is also our health level, close combat, and heavy machinery. Operation, could even be repair, could be like working with engines, that kind of a thing. Not the electronics of things, but the mechanics of it, right? If we do that, then we have 7, 9, 11. We can put 3 more points into things. So we could go 5, 3, 3, 3. Or let's say that our character has, he's been through it, and maybe agility, it's not there anymore. He had a good long career of service, but it's not there. Now, piloting is a part of this. However, he is captain, doesn't mean he can't pilot, and we can also just add points to the skill, but we'll get to that in a moment. Doesn't mean he can't pilot, it just means that the physical part of his dice pool is weaker. So if we go with that, maybe because he is a commander, he's very well seasoned, we go 4 because we can cap empathy at 4. It's not a key skill, but this gives us 9, 11, 13, which means that we can put one more point into something else, and we'll bring observation, or we'll bring wits to 3. Okay, so far we do have someone who reflects his background, but also this would be the attribute for why he is a leader, why he is a captain. He can command. I mean, just from the basic dice pool, and we can put specific points here if we want. So you see how this is building out. There's our 14 points. As our strength is 5, our health is also 5. Nice and easy. Welcome back, Rip Artist. And for the sake of encumbrance, encumbrance is double your strength. So in this case, his encumbrance is 10. This system uses something kind of like what you find in Pathfinder or what we explored in Castles and Crusades, with concepts like bulk, where you're not measuring to the ounce or pound exactly what you can carry, but there's a nebulous amount that you can. All right, at character creation, you also get 10 skill points, and that you can put up to 3 of those in the career skills, similar to how you can put up to 5 in your key attribute. Now, for a Colonial Marine, that's close combat, stamina, and ranged combat. Let's click back over here. Close combat, stamina, and ranged combat. We can go up to 3. And then we can assign a single point in everything outside of that. Of course, you can always earn, afterwards. You can talk to your game mother about that. But we have 10 points. So if you say, you know what, we can build basic dice pools down here. We can build basic dice pools down here. But we'll go here. Piloting, he can pilot some. He's more of a leader. I mean, in a pinch, he might be able to do something. Though he's more of that hands-on type. Maybe he just has that great endurance. What if we go... Let's see, if he leads, what would his leadership style be? If he's retired, he's kind of an older guy here. If he's giving a motivational speech, it might he might even be that type of captain who very boldly would, be that kind of go down with the ship type. He's got that old man strength. And he endures. So let's see. There's 6, 7, 8, 9. Demon Cooler says, as a game mother for this, I allow pilots to treat piloting as a career skill. I don't know why it isn't. Well, maybe we'll run into that conundrum here in a little bit when we get to that character. In this case, ranged combat, maybe that's fated. Let's not put, even though this can go up to 3, he he can shoot, but he's got a little bit of a shaky hand. In fact, we could even dump piloting if we really wanted to. But we can go with, we have 6, 7, 8, 9. Probably he has seen his soldiers do some things. All right. And there's our 10. So the captain in a pinch can get behind the controls. Other than that, he can command. If maybe manipulate, or maybe he's just better at commanding instead of trying to. He'll tell you what to do. He's not out to try and win your heart. He's not on your side. He's not out there trying to manipulate you. So maybe we can actually move that over to. He knows how to fix things, as he is very physical. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's our 10. This one might be a pretty good spread. All right. Then we get to choose a single talent. We get to choose a talent from the list of 3. Now, if we look here, there's banter, overkill, or past the limit. Talents have been expanded in this book to give you more than the starting 3. And if we kind of flash ahead here, bloop, 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 bloop. There we go. A Colonial Marine Frontier talents, bodyguard or hard hitter? Well, let's see. I think that's in the... is that a general one in this book? Enter over... So those are the specific ones. Yeah, bodyguard. If someone within short range of you is hit by an attack, you can dive in to take the hit. Roll for mobility. It doesn't count as action in combat. If you roll 1 or more successes, you take the hit instead, and you can push the roll. You might this might be something he does, even though he's not good at it. Or what was the other choice that opens up to Colonial Marines? Hard hitter. You get a +2 modification to close combat if you sacrifice your fast action. So, possibly, maybe he was a boxer, a very hands-on person. That's how he got his position of leadership. Otherwise, we can take a look at Colonial Marine talents. Banter. Between fights, you release the tension in your team with some friendly banter. Your stress level and the stress level of everyone in short range drops 2 steps instead of 1. Very good for a leadership position. Overkill. You don't run and hide when the going gets tough. Instead of panicking in the face of mortal danger, you can turn your fear into aggression and use it as a weapon against your enemy. You can trigger the overkill effect when you make a panic roll. Or past the limit. When the going gets tough, the tough get going, and you're the toughest badass around. You can push any skill roll based on strength twice, not just once like other characters. Each push increases your stress level. I kind of like banter as the captain, as the leader, right? You bring people together, you give that motivational speech so people can perform better. So why don't we do that? For name, I guess we'll just fill in captain. And I do want to double check something here. When making follow character, a bond or connection, we can do that after we make the characters. Okay, So it's not suggesting you get bonus points for living out this way. You could, or again, you as the game mother can grant maybe an extra talent or some points to throw in on other things. Oh, hi. Yeah, meow. Okay. Fascinating. Hey, 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 hey. But what this does do is it does expand your starting talents to accommodate the broader scope. Sorry, distracted by the cat. So there we go. We have our attributes, we have our skills, and we have our talent. We have our encumbrance, we have our health. And aside from that, I mean, you could buy your equipment. There's a list of things that could just be automatically supplied. A lot of these are going to be details that's going to be up to you and the storyteller to talk about. We're presuming we don't have any radiation levels or critical injuries. We don't have a buddy or rival yet, but we do have the base of the character. So what we could do is let's come down here. Let's see. Tiny item, signature. Oh, a signature item's important. But for the sake of going through the mechanics of this and not just the background fluff. We have a bit of a background. We know that we were brought together to go on a scientific mission, and we know that he's the captain for a reason. We'll get into that, but I want to teach you how to make the characters first because you can fill in some background stuff. For appearance, let's put what was the concept? We have a retired officer from the Marines who was I'll put it in brackets, hired, because maybe, I don't know, there's other reasons. Who was hired to lead the expeditions for his years of knowledge and service. And you might also go, you might also say, well, but a character who can get a 5 in empathy and a 3 in command would be better rolling an 8. That's true. But there are people who are hired or appointed for reasons that aren't the most obvious. I mean, for good or bad. In this case, he seems to have a bit of an inborn, like, there's already a good reputation, we're presuming, with at least most of the crew. He's here for a reason, and he's good at the direct stuff he does. In fact, while that book says the captain doesn't usually go down on the away mission, if we want to bring Star Trek into this, maybe this is a captain who does go down on the away missions. Because he leads from the front. Maybe that's always been his style. And so they needed someone who can command. He's not bad at it. But he's the leader by doing, not just by saying. And then you can say, oh, that does make sense. And welcome, darling Creep Show, and the Creeple of Creepville. Thank you. Paxson Iseki. Welcome and thank you for the follow. Everyone, you are in the Hero Zone, a digital extension of a friendly local game store. And we are talking Alien RPG. Bada-doom. The Master of Dungeons. Well, the name like that, you for sure are welcome to the Hero Zone. Welcome. Hi, everyone. We do talk about D&D a lot. It's how a lot of us have met. However, on this channel, we do explore other systems, and I'm very happy to relate terms and concepts from D&D into them, as well as teach these other systems too, so you can expand your repertoires of games. But yeah, hi. What was? Let's give a shout out. I must be. Oh no, I'm the only mod in my chat. He had a good game. Oh, nice name. Up and up. There we go. And what was going on? Was Creepshow painting more minis again? Is that what was going on? Is that what was happening? Ah, Iseki, you have played Alien RPG? Painting an elf mini. I'll have to go take a peek if you posted a work in progress photo over in your Discord. Well, thank you for bringing the Creeple over to the Hero Zone. For those of you who don't know, Darling Creepshow and we get along like peas and carrots, like lima beans and corn. We're definitely eye contact, firm, dry, 3-second handshake. Channels here together, and I appreciate you all coming over. If you do have any questions, please ask. I'm Corn. I'm Lima Bean, and together we're Succotash. I've got the stash, and she kind of sucks. Like, no, I'm just. Your painting is amazing. But someone has to take the pratfalls and be the comedic relief, and I have to be the stern, the vaudeville duo. We need the slapstick and like the straight man kind of a thing. So yeah, the crime fighting team of the century here. Corn and lima beans. But no, I appreciate it. This channel is an extension of a friendly local game store. A place you might go and buy some dice, throw down for Friday Night Magic, play a role-playing game, pick up a board game, learn to paint minis, or just find other weirdos like you weirdos. And I say that with a lot of love. In fact, I have an emote for it. There is much love. Ma'am? Hey. You behave. We have a macabre Derek. We're in Sandusky, Ohio, or as a lot more people know it, Cedar Point. Hey, ma'am. Stop. Why are you being a brat right now? Is this what you needed? Apparently she needed her throat scratched. Welcome! So we have the Mosh Pit and the Creeple of Creepville joining us. I also have movement on my motion tracker. Hopefully it's not just the alien, and it is actually the cat hiding and going for a jump scare. She's in the walls! She's in the GD walls! Oh, you're in Indiana! Very good. Yeah. Not too far away. I've been making my way over to Fort Wayne every year for a retailer convention. We're gunners, man! Well, it's okay. We have the ship's cat here to help us out. Oh, all right. Well, thank you for bringing the crew of the Mosh Pit over here, Derek. All right, can I go back to making characters now? Hey, hey, hey. Apparently, I have to do this one-handed because she just has to. She just has to rub. Anyway, we made. Hey, excuse you, please. Stop tearing up my chair. Yeah, I'm saying please. All right. No, this would have been a retailer convention for Alliance, which is in the convention center there. Unless you were sent by Winter Fantasy to that convention, maybe we have. Yeah, Derek, rest up, feel better, my friend. The mosh pit and the Creeple of Creepville also get along, though maybe instead of the firm, dry 3-second handshake, it's kind of a slithery tentacle that kind of wraps around and pulls you into the abyss. But the friendship is still there. It's just expressed through a different culture. So this was our captain of our scientific expeditionary force. If you're just joining us, don't worry. We are referencing the core rulebook for Alien RPG, as well as the Building Better Worlds book that I will be giving away on Saturday. Free League Publishing did send me the book, though I got the PDFs from Drive-Thru because I want to support Free League. So I bought the PDFs. And so I'm using those to demonstrate on channel, but I want one of you to have this this rules expansion, and there's a campaign in the last half of this book. All right, I'm going to take you off the chair if you don't stop scratching. Oh, the stern voice did it, hopefully. I don't like having to yell. There's there's an emote, actually 3. There she is. You can make her as long as you want with the belly segments, or you can just keep her front and back with the 2. If you don't have BTTV, that's you probably saw a bunch of weird letter combos, but it's showing up here. Anyway, so while we're delving into this, honestly, let's make our next character, okay? Let's open up. We're going to open up our Marshal, who is taking on the role of security aboard our scientific vessel. Name for now is Security 1. And let's go back to character creation. Again, you can always add more points and adjust numbers if you work it out with your game mother, your GM in this system, your game mother. If you say, well, these are all seasoned people, you know, this isn't their first expedition, then you throw in a couple extra points or you get an extra talent. And then in a long form campaign, you level them up just like you would a fledgling vampire in Vampire the Masquerade, or anything else, a level 1 adventurer in D&D, going from there. So with the let's go back here. With the Colonial Marshal, Our key attribute is wits. And by the way, character creation is quick and easy, and it gives you a ton of flexibility. So for right now, we're going to put an X in wits, and our key skills are observation, ranged combat, and manipulation. Observation, ranged combat, and manipulation. What this means now is from our starting attributes, you get 14 points to put into the 4 attributes of an Alien RPG character. Unless your GM says otherwise, each attribute starts at 2, meaning we have 6 points that we can put into our attributes. This is a dice pool building system. Kind of like Vampire the Masquerade, you build a pool of attribute and skill, and you measure success or failure from there. Now, with wits being key, this means we have the option to take that starting number to 5, while any of the other attributes are capped at 4. Meaning if we wanted to go all in on wits, then we can have 333, and there we go. We're rounded with a specialty in wits. I hope that makes sense. Or we could be a little bit more generally broad, or for some reason, if you don't want wits, you can have a Colonial Marshal and have your wits be 2. Because you can always put more points in your skill or skills. So you get a lot of flexibility here, because wits powers these 3 skills generally. But if you just want to, be really good at observation, you can put more points into that. I'm going to make good on this. I will remove you if you keep scratching. Stop. I know you're not really a lap cat, but my goodness, child. Sweet child of mine. Anyway, as we're working security, I don't have a concept otherwise, because we randomly assigned the different careers in Alien RPG to the roles aboard a scientific ship, as is outlined the 12 positions on a normal scientific excursion. And we did that to showcase that your pilot roles don't have to be the pilot career. Can they? Of course. But they don't have to be, because anyone can get skill in piloting. And people might be brought aboard the mission for reasons other than being the absolute best crack ace pilot. There could have been favors owed, or any port in a storm kind of desperation. There could have been some deals behind the scenes being made. Or we have someone who you build and might have been a pro pilot at some point in time, but lost that edge because of an injury, or they're older, or something else happened. Maybe they faked it on their entrance exam report. They changed the number, or they're the ones who cheated on the Kobayashi Maru test. Anyway, we have we have our 14 points. Now, for working security, let's say that we do want to specialize in observation. Security does require that kind of, more of the spy type of security. More of the as a marshal, you're kind of Colonial Marine. You don't have to be the Colonial Marines from the movie. It's soldier. Colonial Marshal is police or other kind of enforcement. In this case, we have someone who can work security pretty well. Why don't we keep strength at 2? Why don't we go 52? That's a huge dice pool. We're really good at if we go 4, that's 9, 11, 13, and we go agility 3. With this spread, this is telling me that this person is going to be very specialized, and maybe this person is a plant on board the ship, maybe. But we can super specialize into these, or at least we'll be a little bit more well-rounded. Anyway, there's our 14 points, right? Now, our health is equal to our stamina. It's a pretty good thing that we are going to be good at long-range interdiction, or perhaps watching people through at a distance with our observation skills, or manipulating people to do things for us because we're not strong and we don't have a lot of hit points or health. We'll get taken out of the fight. So as far as security goes, think of the person who watches the monitors more than the one who's actually patrolling with the nightclub or something, right? Now, for skills, we get 10 points at character creation that we can drop into any of these skills. Each career gets 3 key skills, which can go up to 3 at character creation. The other skills can have 1 point put into them. Again, unless the game mother says otherwise. However, I think we are building pretty well into this this idea of a watcher, of someone who stays back, who lurks. Yep, it's a pretty straightforward one sheet character sheet. There are multiple sheet ones if you want to keep track of things with more detail, or you do want to write out a backstory or some other things. But let's do this. 2, 4, 5, 7. Mobility would be kind of like stealth. 8. 9. Comtech is computer use, repairing electrical stuff more than heavy machinery. Might be repairing mechanical things. And one more. We could put it into ranged combat or manipulation. Do we want to give him or her a physical stamina? Endurance would be... it's kind of an endurance thing. Well, no, because if we're relying on tech and cameras, we're not like a military sniper where we gotta like sit still for a long period of time. Why don't we drop this into... You know what? If we have a dice pool of 6 for manipulation, let's have a dice pool of 6 for ranged combat. Hi, Thantos. We know our specialties a little bit more here. And as you can see, there's only these 12 skills. Yet the skills are very flexible for you to narrate what's happening. And in the Alien RPG system, you don't often call for skill checks. That's because it's a harsher system. If in Dungeons and Dragons, make a make a perception. I 8. No, it's not enough. Okay, well let's keep moving. There could be consequences in Alien RPG. Not succeeding means that you have failed. Now that doesn't mean your eyeballs fall out or suddenly, you fail an observation roll and from out of nowhere a face hugger gets you. It doesn't mean failure like that. But it does mean that things will take longer. Things will be more complicated in a future roll. Or things might become stressful for some reason. And stress is the fun mechanic in this system. So that's why it's fine. If we need to roll stamina, we have 2. That's why there's the baseline 2, unless your GM says otherwise. Okay. Our encumbrance is 4 because it's twice your strength. And encumbrance, for things you're carrying, it's like kind of a bulk unit. It's conceptual. You don't need to measure the ounces and pounds of everything that you carry. No, I'm not shilling. I can. Free League sent me the book, but I owe them no favors in this review or teaching. If I think something is terrible, I can call it out as such. Do I want you all to buy Alien RPG? Oh, that'd be cool. Is the system, is the themes or the mechanics right for you? Maybe. Not for everyone. Can everyone play it? Sure, it's easy. It's pools of D6s. It's a very easy system to play. And it gives you a ton of narrative control over your character. But if you're a person who loves crunch, this system won't be for you. If you love having absolute control over the minutia of your character, I couldn't suggest Alien RPG. Anyway, from here, we get to choose at character creation 1 talent. Now, the initial talents are expanded in this expansion, showing that Colonial Marshal can take menacing or tough in addition to any general ones or specific career talents of authority, investigation, or subdue. So let's take a look real quick. We have Colonial Marshal talents, Investigator. Wait, did I read the right one? Anyway, you see what others miss and are skilled at noticing small details and making sense of them. When you spend a turn in a room or similar location, you can roll for observation. Only 1 attempt is allowed. For each success you roll, that's a 6. You may ask the GM one of the following questions. The GM must answer truthfully, but she is allowed to give vague or incomplete information. What happened here? Is there anything hidden here? And if so, where? Are there any details here that are out of place? Something that's out of the ordinary? Subdue. You're skilled at subduing an opponent without harming them. When you attack a humanoid opponent in close combat, we'll probably skip that one over. Though, if we took that and we're sort of like force building it, that could still be a lot of fun. But this character doesn't seem to be going in that particular direction. Oh, and authority. By invoking your authority as a Colonial Marshal, you can use your command skill instead of manipulation to get someone to bend to your will. So that lets you kind of double up those skills. Now, in our build, we didn't go for command. So we probably don't need that. I am really digging, though, Investigator. But just in case, we have tough and menacing. So let's take a look at the general talents for menacing. You have a scary physical presence that makes it easy to intimidate people. You can roll manipulation using strength instead of empathy when you threaten someone to make them do what you want. Oh, interesting. So these are ways that we could have a build that go outside the, I guess, the stereotypical build of a martial character, of this enforcer. Tough, you are used to taking a beating. You increase your health by 2, i.e., your maximum number equal to your strength. So this could actually help us make up for the fact. This could help us make up for the fact that our health is low, yet we could still be in a fight as a security officer. That's, I kind of like that. Though, if we are working security and our role on this team is as a security officer, I think observation is going to be the spelling. Hello. I think that observation would be the way forward. I think that makes sense, right? Let's do one more character here. Let's have Iseki. I want you to choose. We've made the Colonial Marine and we've made the Colonial Marshal. From the capital letters here, I want you to choose one or roll a 1d10 in chat by typing ! 1d10, and we'll make that character as the third example. Go for the company agent. Okay. Company agent, let's open that up. And remember, the term company agent does have, if you're familiar with, if you are familiar with aliens, etc., especially aliens, then an example of company agent for sure. It opened it up here. You're killing me, Acrobat. Move this. Take this down. Move this over. Put this back. All right. You would be familiar, you suspect from the name, well, you got to be the shady wheeler dealer in it only for the company, and you can, absolutely. Though in this case, the company agent, your key attributes, wits, your key skills are comtech, observation, manipulation. This is a bit more of a rogue archetype. A rogue, maybe a bard if we're talking D&D. You can, through manipulation, you can be a very social character. And while this is written in general to reference other company agents that were stereotypical in the movies and such, in Building Better Worlds, which is this expansion book we're looking at here, this says that the company keeps tabs on everything going on wherever it may be. You might be a roving troubleshooter or auditor looking to find gaps in the books or wasteful people to cull from the salary roll. Your word is company policy out on the frontier, and you can hire and fire on a whim. But be careful you don't fire the wrong guy, or you might be the next one getting fired. Or maybe you're the colony claims agent, the one who has to rubber stamp every stake and claim made on your dusty little world. Can be a nice way to make some unofficial bonuses. But then there are those as slick as company executives, but who don't work for the company. Fixers, now that's a term from Cyberpunk. Fixers who can get whatever you want, but at a price. Union agitators striving for the good of the workers, or rivals trying to horn in on the company's success. So those are concepts that we can bring up. Paxton's. I've only played a couple sessions, but the company agent was key for drama, strife, and hilarity. So the bard. Yeah, see, I was correct. Thank you, Iseki. We have the party bard. All right. So what do we do? We have wits. Wits as our key ability. So let's put that here in wits. Then we have our key skills of comtech, observation, and manipulation. Observation, manipulation, and comtech. Now you might say, wait a minute. Wait a goldern minute. That overlaps somewhat with the Marshal. It does. But you don't have to bring those up to 3, and you never have to max all these out to play a viable character in this system. Especially considering our baseline dice pool is 2. And, at a minimum, you might be rolling 3 or 4 dice, let alone any stress dice you throw in there. So I don't want you to approach this system like you would in D&D, where you have to, I got to have maximum. I got to have a 20 in this score. And I got to do this because all my dice rolls have to be, I have to succeed on an 8+ or something, right? Yes, having bigger dice pools is nicer. You do tend to have more successes, but you're purposely stressed out thinner in this system to help you enjoy the stress system, as well as the need to rely on others on your team or to be betrayed by them for that drama. So don't think of this as, you can never build a complete character. You never will. Same with Vampire the Masquerade. You never have enough experience to buy everything you want for your character. And sometimes you got to fake it till you make it. And so you roll with a very small dice pool, or you try and get bonuses otherwise. Yeah, you could aid other people too, with the way that this is set up. All right, so our company agent is the co-pilot. So this is our second pilot. This is the second pilot of our mission, right? The ship pilot. And when I say ship pilot, I mean it could be a landing craft, or we are talking the big ships. And by the way, some of the art in this book, fantastic stuff. Not just for the items, but when you get over to the vehicles, if you're a fan of this aesthetic, you are indulged. So, I mean, pilot doesn't have, you're not necessarily roped into, well, you can only fly a little grasshopper. Though this got me talking about locusts in BattleTech. We have this pressure pod. We have these lander drop shuttles. Here's an excavator. And we get to some of the big boys here. Here's a Magellan class, a Magellan class ship. You could be the pilot of this, or you could be the pilot, because piloting can also be. And your GM might say, well, heavy machinery might be for a tractor or some land vehicles. It could go back and forth. But you could pilot a pressure pod, or you could pilot this SEV, the Scientific Exploratory Vessel. It could even be a nuclear vessel. Anyway, let's go back and build our company agent as this third character here. Remember, we get 14 points for attributes. Each of them starts at 2, and so we can drop 6 into our attribute somewhere. We can have a maximum of 4 in our key attribute. 5. We can have a maximum of 5. Did we put 5? Yeah, we put 5 there. We can have a maximum of 5 with a maximum of 4 in our others. So we could build for balance. we could build for super specialization. And remember, this is only one half of a dice pool. You had a roughneck getting chased by a Xeno trying to lock doors behind him to stop it. Rolled 10 dice, plus 3 stress, nothing. Then pushed the roll, only 1 success on 14d6. They were sweating after that roll. Oh, woo! Yeah, really. So let's see. We're in the role of pilot. So we are relied upon. I think it would behoove us to certainly put agility, a base agility of 4. Now, our other pilot, that was the kid. Watch our Red Space 3-parter if you want to see a kid pilot. That was actually a lot of fun. But if we have someone here, Comtech is working electronics. That would be like the rerouting power to this and all that. So maybe we have someone who does more of the physical piloting. I don't know. Maybe we don't need to put much into manipulation here. Unless it's that trying to manipulate the captain of, oh yeah, I totally have this. That's the feel that I'm getting from this combo of role on the ship with career. Do we have more of an all-rounder? Because if we go 12 plus 4, well, so one would have to be a little bit less here. What if we go 4 and 4 as co-pilot? Heavy machinery would also be fixing parts of the vessel as well. So that is 8, 11, 13. We have one more point. Maybe we're good at doing things. Maybe we're not good at projecting ourselves to other people. In that case, let's do we make him or her well kind of rounded like that? Or we could go really hard into these. You know what? Let's go wits 5, 8, 12, 14. Now we have 10 points to put into our skills. Our key skills can have up to 3 at character creation. Any other skill may have 1 unless the game mother says otherwise. Let's fix things. Let's pilot. Let's fighting love. Let's go hard in observation to watch the instruments in Comtech as well. That's 6, 7, 8. Mobility to get around in engineering bays. That's 9. Let's see. We do things. Command and manipulation would be out here. We probably also don't fight in ranged combat or close combat. Stamina. We can be in the pilot seat for a while. We can take we can work a double shift for someone else. All right, we'll erase this. This is a very compelling character already. All right, so we have our abilities, we have our skills, so we can start making dice pools. Our strength is 3, meaning that we have 3 health, and our encumbrance is 6, because that's twice. And then we get a talent. Now, there are 3 career talents that are specific to company agents. We may also choose a general talent, the general talents are expanded in Building Better Worlds here as a career talent, if we wanted to take it as such. Let's go over here real quick. We'll take a look. See. Company agent gets born leader and watchful. Born leader and watchful. We also can get cunning. The company's taught you anything. It's always been the lookout for anything and give you the edge. You can push any skill roll based on wits twice. Ooh. Okay. Personal safety. The interest of the company always come first no matter what, and you represent the company or whatever organization. It could be just the crew. That means your own safety is paramount. The other crew members are expendable. Uh-oh. If you're attacked or otherwise end up in fatal danger, and if another PC or friendly NPC is within short range, you can make a Okay, so we're not good at manipulating. It doesn't mean we can't. We could take this, but this isn't going to lean into that direction. Take control. You know how to make people do what you want, and you don't feel bad about it. You can you can roll for manipulation using wits instead of empathy. Cool switch up. Probably not what we need for this character as we've been developing it. Cunning could be good since we can push any roll twice. It will be stressful, but you know what? I'm reminded of the scene. Was it Starship Troopers? It was the pilot pulling the ship out of dock, and it came within like a meter of clipping the arm, like the retaining arm or the clamping mechanism. Cunning could play into that. What else did we have? Born leader or watchful? Born leader or watchful. Watchful, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up when enemies lurk nearby. You get a +2 modification to observation when trying to spot a sneak attack. That could be interesting, especially as someone who has to monitor the screens for asteroids, debris, enemies, or something. That could be very useful and play into his role as a pilot. So watchful or what was this other one? Born leader? Yeah, is a general talent here. You exude authority from your personality, your position in the company, your place on the command team, or because the force of law is behind you. If you fail a command roll, all right. So we're not really commanding. I think in this case, Wait, was it watchful? Yeah, watchful. Observation is good generally, and we can push twice for the 3 skills of survival, comtech. But in this case, we are the sensor reader, and we're the ones who can spot things better. So I'm liking that as a personality builder and not just a throwaway talent. Now from here, of course, you equip the character as your game mother would let you, and then you can go through. Do you have a certain number of air units in a canister you have, or you don't, because you're just on a ship and you're presumed to have that stuff in the background. This system is excellent if you do need to micromanage things, because it could be stressful to not go with food because you're trying to hide out from a xeno infestation for a week until help arrives, or a lack of air or other things. Though in general play, you don't usually have to worry about it. You have enough bullets until you don't. It's kind of there is a cinematic mode of play. It's kind of cinematic in that sense, where you don't necessarily have to track the minutia of things. In general. Uh-oh, it looks like did I disconnect? Question mark. If I did, well then hello YouTube, it's just us. Well, that really does it for the characters here, though I'm sure we'll make more characters to come in the next workshop.